What's up, everybody? It's the Don't Be Scared podcast, and I'm your host, Dr. J. This podcast is all about STEM education, all right? And once again, STEM is science, technology, engineering, and math. So if you're interested in any of these subjects, this is your podcast. Now, specifically during this podcast, we're going to be talking about careers, education, and any trends that we see happening in STEM education right now. Hey, everybody. This is the very first episode of Don't Be Scared, the podcast. Super excited about it. So what can you expect from this podcast? Basically, you can expect everything about STEM. Really talking about STEM education and the lack of diversity in STEM and what we need to do better in STEM and the faux pas, etc. We're going to hit everything STEM related because STEM is a huge opportunity. And I feel like there's people out there that needs to take the opportunity, right? So at Don't Be Scared, we're all about exposure. We're just all about exposure. So, right, let's get into this. So, a couple different things I just want to start off with. My question to everybody, if you're listening to this right now, hey, what's up? I'll give my intro in a little bit, but my question to you: are we scared? Are we scared right now? That's my question to you. That's my question to the STEM world right now. Are we scared? Now, what do I mean when I say are we scared? You know me, what you're going to find out about me. And once again, I'm going to tell who I am a little bit. I haven't said who I am, but that's okay, because I got to give you guys the facts first. Okay. So here's a fact: 8,650,000. Okay, so if you're listening to this, hopefully you can hear that number. Once again, 8,650,000. Okay, now that's a huge number. That's a huge number. Now, if you're looking at me at YouTube right now, you can already see the stat. But basically, this number is the estimated size of the STEM workforce right now in the United States. Now, this is in 2018, okay? And this is according to the Bureau of Labor of Stats, okay? So this is the big boys. This is directly from the source in 2018. Probably 2021, it's only increased. I just looked at it, but this is from 2018. Now, why are we talking about the STEM workforce? Okay. The STEM workforce is extremely big and it's only growing. Okay. If you guys haven't paid attention, technology is ever increasing. The biggest companies in the world right now are tech companies. Tesla, even though they sell cars, they're a tech company. Apple, tech company, even all the other companies you could think of, they're all STEM related, to be honest. Exxon, BSF, I could go on, right? So many companies, huge companies, all related to STEM, as well as STEM is the backbone, right, to developing these companies right now. We could talk about Amazon. They sell products, but they really got the big shot with their tech. Bezos came up with that code. If you don't know about Amazon, so it's just a lot of different things that STEM has helped those companies grow. All right. Now, why is this a big thing? Why is this a big thing? Well, of those 8 million in that STEM workforce, okay, so we're looking at anything related to STEM: science, technology, engineering, right, and math. Now, let's check out another stat, okay? So, about 67% of workers in science and engineering occupations are non Hispanic whites, okay? So, this is comparable to their overall representation in the US population, okay, of the age 21 and older. So this is everybody 21 and up. This is called an NSF. Okay, so this is coming from the National Science Foundation right now. Okay, big boys. Okay, so they're saying around 67% of the workers right now in science and engineering are basically whites. Okay, they're white people. All right, if you don't know this by now, you know this is the world of STEM. It's mainly comprised of white people, and that's just the nature that it has been under. You know, there isn't a lot of minorities in STEM right now, with over half the population being white. Now, let's talk about the other racial and ethnic groups, okay? Because it could be a big percentage, but right now we know majority of this workforce are white people, okay? Now, historically underrepresented racial and ethnic groups, okay, so I'm going to be talking about blacks and Hispanics, okay, are part of the science and engineering workforce. So they are. There's some black people in there. I'm one of them, okay? Now, the rates are much lower, okay, especially in the US. Now, let's just talk about those, okay? Hispanics, blacks, and American Indians or Alaska natives, okay, they make up 27% of the US population, okay, with the ages of 21 and older. So this isn't looking at the children because there's actually more right now, okay? However, they make a much smaller proportion of the science and engineering workforce. So it's definitely not balancing, right? It's not based off demographics. Okay. 15% of the science and engineering highest degree holders, okay, so only 15% of them, and 11% of the workers are in those occupations, okay? So they only make up that tiny bit, but they're 27% of the population, okay? Now, going specifically, right, because I'm black, in case you didn't know that, you just listened to me. It's even lower for African Americans, even lower in science and engineering, unfortunately. Now, if we look on the other end, right, if we compare that to Asians or foreign born individuals, they have a higher rate right now in STEM. Asians only make up 6% of the US population, 21 and old, right? But they account for 21% of those employed in science and engineering. Okay. So right now in the STEM community, it's really white people and Asians. Okay. And that's just how it's been over the past decades, and that's why I ask, are we scared? For so long, we have seen these programs or, just saying we need to increase the amount of people in STEM right now. We need to get more people in STEM. Well, are we not trying to get more people in STEM? Because I can't tell. I really don't know. Because right now, like I said, it's 67%, but I will say it has gone down over the past decades. Because if we look back in the 80s, okay, it was a lot higher. Okay, the numbers were actually 80% for non-Hispanic whites. So in that case, they were 80% of the workers. Now we know why. America has a very complex history with race. And this is the thing that we're trying to push here at Don't Be Scared. We no longer can be scared of STEM. Right now, we have been conditioned, I feel like, to avoid STEM subjects, for a variety of different reasons. If it's too hard, or if it's just literally been barriers that have been put in place not to allow us to get in. Okay. So I ask you once again, are we scared? Okay, are we scared? Now that's not only towards, the people that are currently in charge of the STEM world, are they scared to let people in? But as a community, and I'm talking about underrepresented communities? Are we scared to pursue STEM? Okay. Now, let's talk about real fast. Let me introduce myself. Who am I? Okay. So, my name, once again, is, in case you didn't know, my name is Ryan Johnson, or you could just call me Dr. J. Okay. So, my name is Dr. J. And I was born in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. I went to a prep school in 2011. And I actually, okay, so let's give a background, a quick journey as far as how I even got to STEM. Why? What made me even go this route? Right? Because I truly feel like, something has to change. But before then, 2011, didn't really want to go to high school. I was at a college prep school though. So this was a college preparatory high school, but I really wasn't considering going to school until right my senior year. I decided to go to Langston University, the only HBCU in Oklahoma. Shout out to the Lions, Go Lions. Now from there, and this is the thing that kind of changed my life, was going to that university. Like I said, I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do, let alone if I wanted to go to college. But I knew if I didn't go to college, I really didn't have a plan for anything else. Like I said, I did not have a plan at all for my life. But I went to Langston, and then that kind of changed. Um, I give my story as far as how I got into my STEM, but basically got in STEM, got in chemistry, got my chem degree. Okay, and then from there, I went to LSU and ultimately got my PhD in specifically in organic chemistry. Okay, tell you that story another day. And then after that, I chose to go into academia, where I was assistant professor at SWASU, Southwestern Oklahoma State University. So I came back to Oklahoma because something in me just had to give back. And in between this time, specifically my last year at graduate school, that's where I saw a lot of different things in Louisiana. So this is where this program, Don't Be Scared, actually started. In case you guys don't know, Louisiana is one of the lower states for education. I think last time I checked, they were actually ranked 50th of all the states. So yeah, I was in Louisiana, and my advisor had this program, and then I just really got wrapped into like science education. Because, like I said, I kind of got wrapped into STEM, and it kind of helped me out a lot. Right, I got to travel a lot of places because of STEM. I got scholarships because of STEM. Right, I got different internships just because of STEM. So I got a lot of opportunities. But unfortunately, especially in my community, STEM isn't really exposed. I could remember back going to grade school, and you know, I barely even remember science growing up. To be honest, I really didn't learn science until I got to middle school. Okay, so middle school, that's where things kind of switched gears when I went to a different middle school. But um, it kind of impacted me in a way, and I saw this in Louisiana. I did chemistry demonstrations for different students, and I saw a spark light up. I had a background working with the youth, basically a camp background. So I definitely love the future. Because I truly think the next generation is our future, and we should do a lot more to help them succeed. So that's where Don't Be Scared came to play. Because I noticed, right, when I would explain these chemistry demonstrations, a lot of people were either just, they would tell me they were scared of STEM, right? And I saw this when I started Don't Be Scared in 2018. So in 2018, right, we kind of just went forward. I became a professor, but I ultimately wanted to come back home, right, to Oklahoma. That's where I'm from. So ultimately, I landed in Tulsa. Okay, and if you know any history about Tulsa, you know that there's a very complex history here as well. And this was due for a variety of different reasons. Okay, but especially, my wife is actually from Tulsa, and she loves Tulsa. I was a city boy from Oklahoma City. That's what we say here in the city. You not if you never been to Oklahoma, but you call it just a city. But and she was from Tulsa, and the city in Tulsa be going back and forth, unfortunately. But she made me come around to Tulsa and coming to visit Tulsa. I think Tulsa is an awesome place. It really is. And I love being out here in Tulsa. And ultimately, this is where Don't Be Scared is officially stationed now. Now, let's talk about real fast Tulsa because I just got to shout out Tulsa. Once again, this is a beautiful city that I love to be in. This is a picture in case if you haven't been here to be okay center, but then it's just a whole vibe here, you know. Now I've learned a lot of different things, a lot of different things from my wife, a lot of different things around the family. And then also, just getting around, meeting different students from the different high schools, middle schools, and elementary schools out here. Because, like I said before, I had only interacted with Louisiana students. So coming back to Oklahoma students, it's been great. So this being in Tulsa now, a couple things always, shed light because there's a complex history. So if you don't know about Black Wall Street, it's definitely complicated with that. Even today, you can see definitely the wrongdoings that's been done in the past, and even how that's impacting in 2021 today. Now, I came across these stats that really blew my mind. It really blew my mind. Because I say, I love stats, I love facts. Stats are facts, everybody. Stats are facts. Now let me just show you these stats, okay? That is nothing more to say, just to show you guys. So to all the people that's listening right now, today a child born in the most predominantly Black part of our city. So when I say city, we're talking about Tulsa has a life expectancy. Okay. Ooh, a little messing up there. But yeah, they have a lifespan that is 11 years shorter than a child born elsewhere in Tulsa. Now, that blew my mind. And this is a legit, this is according to a Tulsa report. They do their stat checking and everything. But to be born in the same city, but in a different side of the city, right? In this case, the Black part, and you're going to die 11 years earlier than someone who's born on the other side of town. Blows my mind, and that was just so shocking. And it's unfortunate, because like I said, I've grown to love Tulsa, and it's just crazy that these racial things are still happening today. This isn't going anywhere, but it's crazy once you start seeing the numbers. Even more crazy was the average North Tulsa median income is 28,000, as opposed to a South Tulsa resident who's 59,000. Okay, same city, different sides. Not only is one side of the city making less, but they're also dying off more. Okay. And just to let everybody know, North Tulsa, from what I've been, since I've been living here, is more the Black part. It's the Black part of town. Okay. So it's crazy right now. Just looking at numbers. We're just looking at numbers, right? Just the differences, and this is all based on, like I said, that complex history that Tulsa has with races. Um, so that leads me to, right, don't be scared. Now, don't be scared. Like I said, was started in 2018, and ultimately, right, our mission statement is to provide an interactive learning environment for students learning STEM concepts while creating a mentor-mentee relationship to aid students to consider a career in STEM. And it's so important to do that. I can't say that enough. I went out to a high school the other day, and then I asked this question, right? Like, who's considering STEM? And then, everybody was looking around. Nobody raised their hand, of course. I was like, oh, Jesus. Ah, Jesus, ain't nobody with STEM right now. Ain't nobody messing with STEM. And that's the frustrating thing. Because I can't blame them because we only know our environment. And if they never been exposed, right, to these type of concepts or even the STEM or what you can do with STEM, they just don't know. They have different plans, totally different plans of not needing STEM at all, which that is perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine. But I'm also going to say I had different plans as well, right? However, STEM came into my life and it kind of changed it for the better. To even now, because of STEM, I'm doing this podcast right now, just trying to expose. And that's our vision statement, man. We really want to increase the minorities in the STEM workplace. We're trying to build up confidence in the next generation of the minority scholars. And we want to influence and spark a change in this racist STEM culture, okay? So that we can create a movement that ultimately will increase the minority influence in STEM. And that's our vision, right? Stuff has to change. Specifically, we need more Black people in STEM. Why? Because, it's popping with us. I'm just saying, okay? You know what I'm saying? Look at entertainment. Look at everything. Look at everything we get involved in. When we get involved in something, it pops. Okay. Not saying that STEM isn't popping in the United States, but I'm not, we're gonna get to this later, but um when the United States compared to other countries right now, they're on the decline in STEM. And that's for a variety of different reasons right now. But notice one thing, there's no diversity in STEM right now. As much as we have improved, and I will not say that the United States has not improved in STEM, but we need to do more, because right now it still isn't enough. We need to do more. Okay. We need to at least get STEM to be like the United States population's demographic. Okay. At least. Okay. So, how can we help? All right. So, you got me on the YouTube right now. This is an event. Yo, the kids was lit, boy. You bring out liquid nitrogen, you talk about that, kids go lit. But this is what we're trying to do, man. Like all those kids right here, they have never even been exposed to liquid nitrogen, let alone know what that is. Right? Explaining elements, atoms, compounds, etc. Right? But this is just my chemistry side. There's all types of STEM, science, technology, engineering, math. We need more diversity across the board right now. Why? Because it's necessary. Why? Because we don't need the next generation being left behind. Okay? Because if you guys haven't noticed, technology is taking over the world. Okay? The jobs that our mamas and daddies had are literally being taken over by technology. For real. What can we do to actually help the next generation? But not only the next generation, anybody considering just getting into STEM, right? I know people right now teaching at community college who are trying to, switch their career. They didn't necessarily like what they were doing, and now they decided, okay, let's change it up. We're here to help you guys, okay? Now, specifically, what we do is we throw science events, we do camps, and we have some community projects going on right now in Tulsa. Okay. We also focus on providing a tutor, but also a mentor, mentee relationship. Okay. In this case, we also have that virtual aspect as far as if that's the case. However, we really want to be in person. Okay. So we really want to be in person for our students in science and math. What I've noticed in teaching chemistry through these years is basically right. If you don't have a strong math background, you're going to have a hard time, especially in chemistry, with the math. Um, in case you didn't know, if you think about taking chemistry, chemistry is just math. Okay, so we're here to focus on that. It's a lot of algebra, so we definitely make sure that you understand both sides. And we can help you provide programming. Okay. So if you have an idea, we love to collaborate. We love collaborating with people. So let's collaborate. Okay. So we're based in Tulsa, but we are working with other organizations in other states right now. Okay. Like I said, we got virtual aspects, so we're working on that now. If you need any equipment, we can figure out how we're going to get you equipment. And also, if you have lessons, if you want to make your class more interactive, we have lessons for science demonstrations. Okay. You don't need hardcore chemicals to teach science. You could do this at home with your kid. You could do this at home if you're in some type of blended schooling right now, or you could do this in your classroom with your students right now. Okay. So once again, this is how we are helping, and we just want to collaborate with many other people. Okay. Now, you guys can contact me at the email don't be scared at gmail.com, and make sure to follow us on our YouTube and social media. Okay. So we have Facebook and TikTok. That's what we have. Make sure to look at our website. If you need any more information. But once again, that's the best way to get in contact with us. And this is our podcast. Okay. We got our podcast here. We're just really trying to spread more information. So we're going to be talking about more careers as far as in STEM. We'll be talking about STEM education. Okay. And then, of course, we're going to be talking about this problem in STEM with the lack of diversity. Right. So, once again, everybody, at the end of the day, don't be scared. Okay. Don't be scared to get involved in STEM. If you're thinking about taking that jump, now is the time. Okay. The world is changing and it's moving faster than it's ever moved before. And if you want to get on this STEM bandwagon, let's go. Now, once again, you want to make sure that you hit that subscribe button and follow us for the latest episodes on our podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to leave a review as well as comment below what you want to hear us talk about next. At the end of the day, everybody, we're just here to help. We want to spread our vision of increasing STEM participation from underrepresented communities